future of AI filmmaking is here. From an F1 car shooting down the track to a jet flying through the air. And the crazy part is, all of these clips were made using Nano Banana and Kling start and end frames inside design. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to combine these two tools to create your own cinematic, realistic AI clips. Nano Banana helps solve one of the biggest issues in AI video because it lets you create the same character in different situations, with the same lighting, different angles, and that consistent look across scenes. Then when you combine that with Kling's start and end frames, what you get is basically a power-packed duo, and this combination unlocks something special, not just making clips, but real AI filmmaking. In this first example, we have a Formula One driver with a close-up shot on the helmet, and then we transition outward into a wide cinematic shot of the car racing along the track. Normally, animating this kind of transition would be extremely difficult, but when you lock in the start and end frames, Kling fills in everything in between, creating a smooth, cinematic pullback from the driver's face to the raw motion of the car on the road. Now, it's not always perfect. Sometimes it takes a few attempts. And what's really important is being very clear about the starting situation, the transition movement, and the ending situation. To show you what I mean, here's one of the failed versions I tried before, where I used a different image for the end frame. So let's start from the beginning. Step 1 is creating your start frame. Go to Text to Image, choose the Nano Banana model, and paste in your starting prompt. Ultra cinematic close-up of a Formula One driver inside the cockpit. Helmet visor reflecting track lights. Intense eyes, focused forward. Dramatic shallow depth of field, photorealistic 8K sports cinematography. Then hit generate. And now you have your first frame. Now we'll generate the last frame. Go down to the chat editor at the bottom. Here you'll see different model options, including Flux, Context, ChatGPT, and Nano Banana. For this one, we're going to stick with Nano Banana. Now paste in the end frame prompt. A wide cinematic shot of a Formula One car speeding down a Grand Prix straight toward the camera. Motion blur. Rival cars behind. Grandstands glowing in sunset light. Click Generate. And now you have the end frame. Now let's take these two images and bring them to life. Go to Video, and in the Model section, select Kling 2.1 Pro, Start and End Frames. Then we add a transition prompt that describes the motion. The shot begins with a dramatic close-up of the driver's eyes inside the helmet. The camera holds steady for a beat. Then, in a sudden burst of speed, the camera pulls rapidly backward along the track, racing through the cockpit without distortion, revealing the full Formula One car driving on the straight. The pullback continues, easing slightly to reveal other cars beside and behind, and the shot settles into a wide cinematic view of the race spectacle, grandstands and barriers in view. This prompt describes the beginning frame, the transition, and the ending frame. Now click Generate, and in a moment you'll see this finished video. In another example I tried, I animated a jet flying through the air, starting from the front of the pilot, then rotating around to the back. It took a few attempts to get it to do a full 180-degree motion turn while keeping the cockpit consistent. It wasn't perfect, but it got about 95% of the move I wanted. Now let's look at another example with Superman. First, go back to Text to Image on the left sidebar. Click on your model and choose Nano Banana. Then, in the prompt box, describe your first scene. Here we have Clark Kent standing on a city street, gripping his shirt. Now down in the chat editor, we can ask Nano Banana to generate the end image, the same guy, but now as Superman taking off into the air. Click Generate. And now we have our end frame of him lifting off in the same city. Now we take these start and end frames into the same Kling workflow. Go to Video, choose your start frame and end frame, and now we write the transition prompt. The shot begins with Clark Kent standing in the middle of a rainy city street, wearing his business suit and glasses, hands at his shirt. Suddenly, he starts spinning rapidly, his suit jacket and tie whipping outward in a blur. The clothes tear away in streaks of motion, seamlessly transforming into the bright blue Superman suit. The emblem appears on his chest. His cape whips outward as the spin ends. The camera locks on him as the transformation finishes. Now fully Superman, hovering above the ground, rain bouncing off his shoulders, ready to blast into the sky. Quick Generate. This combination of Nano Banana and Kling's start and end frames inside design is honestly one of the most powerful AI filmmaking workflows available right now. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell? If this inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and join the future of filmmaking.